This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by the law offices of Tunnell and Raysor.
You know, taking care of loved ones is something you expect to do in your life. You raise your children until they're ready to go off on their own. Sometimes you might expect to provide some care for your aging parents.
But sometimes part of that care may mean making important decisions that they are no longer capable of making on their own. And to do that, you may have to petition the court for adult guardianship. Today we find out what it is and how it's done with some help from Tunnell and Raysor. Attorney Christoph Emmert is a partner with the law firm of Tunnell and Raysor, who specializes in areas of, among other things, adult guardianship.
Adult guardianship is a process where someone is named to act on someone else's behalf when they are unable to care for their own person or property.
Adult guardianship is typically granted to parents of adult disabled or special needs children.
I've done several where someone turns 18 and the child is now an adult and really is incapable of caring for themselves, and parents continue to take that role on as they did when they were minors.
Adult guardianship can also be granted when an older relative is unable to care for themselves as a result of Alzheimer's or dementia.
You can actually petition the Court of Chancery here in Delaware for guardianship of both the person, meaning the medical, physical care of the person, as well as their property.
She says adult guardianship can be planned in advance.
Much as a power of attorney for financial matters or a healthcare agent would do if someone has taken the step of doing those documents themselves. This guardianship procedure arises and is necessary if folks have not taken the steps to go ahead and put those documents in place while they still have capacity.
But Emmert says it's not something you want to take on yourself.
The process includes a petition to the Court of Chancery here in Delaware, and that's our Court of Equity. That's where you would file a petition, a document that says why the guardianship is needed, essentially outlining that the person is unable to care for their physical care or to manage their own assets.
From there, an independent attorney investigates on behalf of the person for whom guardianship is petitioned.
Probably the most important aspect of the petition is outlining the need supported by a physician's affidavit in which the person's physician explains how capable they are or not and why this guardianship is needed. And the court really relies on that affidavit to name the guardian.
And Emmert adds it should not be assumed that a spouse will automatically hold this guardianship.
Oftentimes spouses assume that they can act for each other, and sometimes that is the case. But anyone who's dealt with the cable company and can't talk to them because their spouse's name might happen to be on that bill will know that there are oftentimes situations where a spouse or a child cannot act for someone, and then this guardianship is required.
And Emmert says, unfortunately, adult guardianships can be contested.
And these can be extremely difficult cases, which is why sometimes it is best to hire an attorney in these matters. If they become contested, they are brutal, and oftentimes it's one member of the family against the other. When the petition by one member of the family or friend is filed, there has to be a notice to all the next of kin. And some of the most divisive cases I've seen were between close family members. In one case, a spouse and a child were petitioning over care of the spouse and parent. So it really can be problematic for all involved.
So bottom line, Emmert says take action now to make sure that all documents are in place, because you really never know what's going to happen, and you want to make sure you don't leave a mess for your loved ones to deal with if something does happen. And I think we're all guilty of saying, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fine.
Yeah. Make arrangements while you're thinking clearly.
Exactly.